I think a lot of people need to understand that while we are here on this earth, no matter how spiritual you want to get, your spirituality is basically useless if you cannot live on the face of this earth. What do I mean by if you cannot live on the face of this earth? If you don't have the mechanism, the machine, the body that allows you to operate on the face of this earth. So in as much as spirituality is the height that we ought to be yearning for, is the thing that we ought to be going for, at the same time you need to understand that the only thing that would allow you operate your spirituality here on earth is our body. It's this very body that we have. So this body allows us to manifest that which we are acquiring in the spirit naturally. So therefore, a lot of significance and importance needs to be paid to this body. We need to learn to take care of this body, because this body is that which would allow us get to the place we want to get to. And that is the significance of you understanding this gift that you are given and how to make it profit you. That is what Health Wednesday is all about. Akwaba. Yeda oduma kuma se de waye na humboa na wa chain nkwan wa boy am yasene be shemi bio in the day. I'm very excited that the Most High, the Creator, has given us the opportunity to come your way once again and also have a conversation with this beautiful, amazing family. I keep saying this is going to be the biggest family ever, because we are scattered all over the place and we are all coming together to learn what our fathers knew and also to return back to our roots, whichever place you may come from. So every single time I get excited when I get a chance to do this, and I want to apologize for not coming your way yesterday. I had some emergencies that I had to deal with. That's why I had to upload that short video. I hope when you come down to Ghana or any part of Africa, you would try patting the back of a crocodile. It's actually cool. It's actually a cool thing. And also, I want to say a big thank you and welcome to everybody that I just subscribed to this amazing family platform. And listen, this place is only the beginning. This is only the beginning of the things that we're going to achieve together. I don't want to take a lot of your time because I missed yesterday. This is an important announcement though. I will not do Social Thursday tomorrow, but rather continue what I started on Monday. Then the next day, which is the Spirit Friday, I'll continue with the Spirit version of what I started on Monday. So I have exciting 2 days ahead, but today is going to be an exciting time, and I want to talk about health today since it's Health Wednesdays. Anyways, let's get into it. When we talk about health, the first thing we want to address is, what is it? What is health? What does it mean to be healthy? Well, health is only happening in your body. Health is only going on in your body. And what health means is that your body is simply functioning well. Your body is functioning properly. Your body is doing exactly what it's meant to do. This is what it means to be healthy. So health is only going on in your body, in your organs. Health does not go on beyond this body. So the talk of health is only happening in this very body that we have. What is sicknesses then? So sicknesses is the direct opposite to what health is. If health is basically the correct functioning of the body, then sicknesses is basically the malfunctioning of this body. When this body begins to work in a way that is not supposed to, or any part of your organ begin to work in a way that is not supposed to, it basically means is that this body is not doing what it is asked to. So now becomes the question, okay, when the body comes to a place where it's not doing what it's supposed to, then what should we do? Well, you don't got to worry about that. That is why I'm here today. What happens in your health all boils down to what you are taking into this body. Last week I said the food that we take in are the raw materials, the building materials of this body. When you use quality building materials, you're going to have a quality building. When you use poor building materials, you're going to have a poor building, and eventually this building is going to collapse on you. So what you want to do is to make sure you are constantly supplying the best building materials that you can find around for this body. The best, nothing but the best. This body is the most important thing or important structure or the important building you would ever build with your life. Because how well you build this structure determines how long you will spend on the face of this earth. A lot of people's approach to eating is basically the way or why their lives turn out the way it is. Like this outbreak that is going on right now. Every doctor is telling you, anybody that has a strong immune system basically have nothing to worry about. So why are some people having strong immune systems and others are not? It basically comes down to what you are taking into you, what you are eating. You understand? What you eat into your body determines what kind of immune system. So eating is basically the process of acquiring raw materials into this body. And here is where we have the problem, because a lot of people's approach to food is totally out of place, is totally displaced or misplaced. We don't eat because we are hungry or because we feel like it. No, that is not why we eat. We eat because we have to maintain this body. So a lot of people's approach to eating is the reason why a lot of us are getting sick to begin with. Because when you are just eating because you feel like, I feel like, it means that you are not necessarily eating what this body that you have needs. You are just eating because you feel like. It's like driving a car. When you drive in a car and your car is a diesel engine, when you see the empty tank, what do? You go and look for diesel fuel. You don't go and buy gas or you buy petrol. LPG is what we call gas here. You don't go and buy gas or you go and buy petrol. You look for diesel because what? Your engine is a diesel engine. It's the same with this body. This body is designed specifically for you. So there are things that you need to eat to keep this body going the way it's supposed to go. Are you with me so far? So the thing is that we don't eat because we want to get satisfied. We eat because we want to maintain this body that we have so that this body can serve us in the long run. So this error is what has to leave your door this very day as you are hearing my voice. From this day forth, don't eat just because you are hungry and you want to satisfy your stomach or your desire or your thirst. No, you are eating because you want to maintain this body that you have. You want to maintain and allow this body develop and grow into the role that this body was intended for it to grow into. So the key thing here is that we eat to maintain our body. We don't eat because we feel like it. Say it. I need you to say it after me. Say, I eat to maintain my body. I eat to fix my body. I eat to maintain my body. I eat to secure my body. I eat to allow my body to function and give my body a fighting chance to function in the way it's supposed to go. I don't eat just because I want to satisfy a thirst. So this means that we must eat for nutrients making. Whenever we eat for nutrients making, we come to a place where we have a perfect diet because we make sure everything you are eating a day is exactly what your body needs. You don't want to put into your body anything that the body doesn't need in a day. Whenever you eat stuff that your body don't eat, it piles up, it stores up, and is definitely storing up to become something that you don't want. to give you a problem that you never needed to have in the first place. You must always look at food from this angle: what the body needs, not what you feel like eating. What the body needs. What does my body need today? What nutrients does my type of body, form of body, shape of body need? Not what I feel like eating when you grow up. That is how we must approach eating. Eating is the process of acquiring raw materials for this body that we have. Anybody that eats because they feel like eating something or whatever it is that comes up in their taste buds is basically being controlled by food. Hence the whole idea of man shall not eat by bread alone, meaning that you should not be controlled by food. Anybody that is controlled by food immediately set themselves up for health problems, because the body needs to be in control when it comes to the materials that it needs. That is why it's necessary that you don't allow the food to control you, but rather you decide the things that you need in this body to allow this body, or to give this body a fighting chance to make it to the next day. There are certain foods that men have to eat, and there are certain foods that women have to eat. There are general foods that everybody should eat. And another beautiful thing is that no matter what sex you are, or no matter what your sexuality is, whatever food you eat, if we are all eating a piece of bread, the piece of bread is not a sexist. It's not saying I am only for a female or I'm only for a male. The piece of bread is coming into your body, and that same piece of bread is going to turn into a female body or a male body. But that said, there are particular foods that when men eat, it helps them better, and when women eat, it helps them better. Like, let me try and make this plain. Man produces sperm, so there are foods that the man should eat that would help his sperm production. There are foods that women should eat that would help with their eggs, with the formation of their eggs and maintaining and keeping their eggs. There are food that women need to eat that would help them flow. You understand? These things, men don't flow. So why should the man eat certain things that would make him flow? Women don't give out sperm, so why should a woman be eating? So there are certain foods that benefit men, and there are certain foods that benefit women. There are certain foods that certain ages cannot eat, simply because when you are younger, the kind of functioning that your organs can do or can perform is totally different from the kind of functions that your organ perform when you are about 50 upwards. You know what I'm saying? So we the young ones, you see how I'm putting it, we the young ones, because I'm not 50, we the young ones, we make sure that we eat certain kind of foods, because our body needs certain energies because of the activities that we involve ourselves in. Other people, on the other hand, when you grow, your organs don't function the same way they do. They don't break down foods the same way they do. So you cannot look at a child and say that because my child is eating this, we gotta eat this. I grew up in an environment where the fathers are giving all the meat and the fishes and all the big chunks, and the children are giving. When you think about it, it doesn't even make sense, because the child can break down meat properly than even the adult. So why are you, the adult, taking all the meat? You understand what I'm saying? So certain ages also determine what kind of food you should be taking into your body. Now, whatever you take into your body builds your body. Whatever body type that you have determine how well you are going to perform or fulfill the purpose that is on your life from the spiritual realm. Do you understand how the process works? So during the day, there are certain kinds of nutrients that the body needs. And it is our responsibility to make sure we provide those nutrients to the body. Certain minerals that the body needs. When you don't do it, you begin to realize that your body is reacting in a type of way. There are some people who, when you give children too much sugar, you realize that they become very hyper. They don't sleep. They are all over the place. Right? There are some people, when they eat sugar, they itch. There are some people, when they don't eat sugar, they don't itch. There are some people, when they are lacking certain things, when they eat certain things, their mouth become dry. Some people don't. So every single day, there are certain nutrients that this body needs. For example, so when we take a nutrient like energy, every single day, your body needs 8,700 kilojoules. That's all that your body needs. Not more, not less. So when your body is constantly taking this level of energy lower than 8,700, then it means that eventually you are heading towards a disaster. If your body is taking more than that, it means eventually it is breaking down into something else and storing at a certain place in your body that is not supposed to be stored at. We also have like protein. You need about 50 grams of protein every day. 50 grams of protein, just 50. So imagine you are eating about 150 grams of protein. Where is the rest of the protein going to go? When you eat less of that protein, deficiency. So there are a lot of things that contains protein. So imagine you are eating a vegetable that contains protein, you are eating a fruit that contains protein, then you are actually eating meat and all these amino acids foods. What are you doing to yourself? It means you are pounding up about 400 grams of protein that you don't need. You only need 50. So what's going to happen to the 350 grams that has just entered your body? And this is what happened. The next day, you go right back at it. You continue taking in the same amount of protein. So you realize that all of a sudden your body begins to grow out of shape because you are giving it too much protein that it doesn't need. So you are getting fat behind your neck, underneath your throat, in your arms. You are getting flesh all here. And you don't understand why your body is growing that way. It's because you are taking in stuff that the body doesn't need. Your body doesn't need 400 grams of protein every day. It only needs 50. Another example is that fat. Your body needs only 70 grams of fat a day. We have saturated fatty acid. We need 24 grams. We have carbohydrates. You need 110. So you see, you need more carbohydrates in you than you need protein. But because we have not been eating well and we have allowed certain or malfunctions in our body, they are even telling you don't take carbohydrate because it will break down to sugar. But your body needs carbohydrates every day more than the sugar because the brain is dependent on the energy that the carbohydrate is going to produce. Your brain alone is taking over 25% of the body's energy. Your brain alone. So you understand why certain people are not functioning well. When your carbohydrate levels are low, your brain will not be sharp. Because your brain doesn't have the fuel it needs to work. You get it? Let's go like sugars. You need just about 90 grams of sugar. Just 90. Carbohydrate is giving you sugar, but you need just 90. So after the carbohydrate is broken down, just 90 grams is what your body needs. Sodium, salt, you need 2.3 salt in a day. But your fried chicken is salty, your chips is salty, your pizzas are salt, everything else salt. So what are you doing? You are giving too much pressure to your heart. Now you begin to have heart diseases. Now we have what? The dietary fibers. You need fibers in your body, about 30 grams. A lot of people go through an entire day without allowing any fiber even to come into the body. But you need these fibers. So when you take these nutrients, you realize that each and every day, your body needs to contain all of these broken down nutrients. Your body needs all these nutrients. So when you are starving your body from these nutrients that I've just broken down, eventually your body would break down. Then we come to the minerals. We have something like calcium, potassium, magnesium, fiber, vitamin A, C, D, and E. Let me just touch on the potassium, okay? Each and every day, your body needs 4,700 milligrams of potassium a day. 4,700. Now, 4,700 simply means is that you're going to need about 12 bananas in every single day. Do you eat 12 bananas in every single day? No, you don't eat 12 bananas because one banana is giving you about 400 milligrams of potassium in a day. 400 milligrams. So it means what? When you eat one banana, you are short of 4,300 milligrams of potassium. So what do? If you can't eat 12 bananas in a day, you go and look for other foods that contains potassium, like broccoli, like spinach. You take these things that contains potassium, like apricot, fruits like apricot, like other dry foods. You take these things that contain potassium so that it balances the inability to eat 12 bananas. We have other examples in cucumber, we have sweet potatoes, we have mushrooms, we have honeydew. So these things are also rich in potassium. So if you're not eating 12 bananas a day, your salad should have some potassium in it. Then it brings the body the necessary nutrients and the minerals that it needs. It is not every soil that gives you certain minerals though. We have something we call the trace minerals, okay? Places like the United States, the North American places, they don't have enough mineral traces in their soils. So already the food they are eating is at a disadvantage on minerals because the soil doesn't contain certain minerals. Therefore, the soil is not transmitting the minerals into the food they are eating. Unless you go to places that we have the volcanic ash laid on the ground to give it those necessary nutrients or minerals, give it those necessary minerals that the soil needs, so that the soil will pass it on to the fruits that you are eating, or vegetables, or the vegetation that you need, the foods that you need. You understand? So there are certain things that the food in certain areas are even giving you do not have. Because a lot of people in the Americas, especially the North America, they are not feeding, they are not giving back these mineral traces back to the soil anyways. So even the very soil you are growing your food on determines what kind of food will come out. Do you see how important and significant this is? That is why you don't have to take your food intake lightly at all. So this type of diet will create the most health for you and also give you the necessary properties that your body needs, the necessary ingredient, nutrients that your body needs, so that your body can function at a level of excellence. When you take out all these things from your food, now we are heading for disaster. And this is when sicknesses and diseases come in. When the body is not receiving the necessary ingredients that you have. So another key significant thing that a lot of us need to keep at the back of our heads is that we don't eat because we want to be, we don't eat because we are fighting diseases. No, we are eating because we are maintaining this body. When you eat right, the necessary properties that the food contains will naturally ward off all these sicknesses anyway. So you don't even gotta worry about any disease or sickness. But the minute you are not eating all these necessary stuff, now your body begins to malfunction because the organs that are in your body are not receiving the necessary nutrients that it needs to function well. So instead of you eating to maintain your body, now you have to change your diet entirely because you didn't do that in the first place, and now you gotta eat because you are sick. But that is not how you should eat though. When you eat well, sickness out of the door. When you don't eat well, sickness comes into the door. The reason why people are sick is because they are not eating well. And the worst thing you can do for yourself is to try and use chemicals to solve a problem that was created biologically. Yes, there are foods out there that prevent cancers and these diseases, and also there are foods out there that promote the rejuvenation of certain organs like your kidneys, your heart, your eyes, etc., and help you down the road and bulletproof your health. But that is not why we eat. The reason why you would eventually have to eat like this is because your body is malfunctioning. You didn't take care of it in the first place. When you have a child and you start giving your children the necessary nutrients they need daily, your child would never visit the hospital his entire life. So now a lot of people are forced to eat a type of way because their organs are already failing. And now they have to be on diet. When you eat well, you don't have to be on diet in the first place. We must always make sure we eat food that comes out of the product of life itself. Foods that comes out of nature, food that breathes out of nature, out of the ground. These are the foods that we should eat. Never allow any food that did not come from nature enter your mouth. It's so important. You should always remember this. When you're about to eat any food, check if that food is coming from nature. If that food is not coming from nature, you have no business putting that food in your mouth. Yes, we have things. There are foods that are wild caught, and there are food that are farm made, farm raised. There are food. We have the GMOs and we have the naturally grown foods. We have foods that are sprayed with pesticides and all kinds of fertilizers, and we have food that are allowed grow naturally in their own terms, in their own strength, in their own DNA. Always go for those foods. Don't have anything to do with any food that is sprayed. Any food don't need your help. If anything at all, it's the soil that needs your help to maintain it. The food don't need your help. The right soil will give you the right food. When you pollute your soil, when you pollute your grounds, then your food is going to suffer. Now, a lot of people pollute their grounds, their soil is messed up, but they still want to have a kind of food. That is why they genetically modify the DNA of the food and enhances the food to grow in a type of way that is not natural. When you eat those kinds of food would always land you in trouble. Natural foods have a certain kind of programmings in their cells. They have a certain kind of memory stored in their cell that they would pass on to the human being. Do you understand what I'm saying? When a food is growing in its natural environment and in natural soil, the earth programs the food to grow in a particular way and releases certain information to the food to store up in the cells of the food. When the food is ready to be eaten, when man go in for such a food, the food now gets transmitted into the mouth, then to the organs, and the DNA codings and the programs and the softwares that the Mother Earth has written for the food will now be ministered to your body, and all of a sudden your body begins to be rejuvenated. Why? Because this body is coming from Mother Nature. It's coming from Mother Earth. The earth knows this body. The earth knows whatever the body needs at a given point in time. Whatever age you get to, the body knows exactly what you need. So whilst the food is coming from the grounds into your body, the earth gives it information and technology to the food that is growing naturally. And now this technology and information comes into the body and begin to repair and restore the other. So it's like this hard drive is crashed, I'm giving you a new one. This system unit is crashed, I'm giving you a new one. This transformer is broken, I'm giving you a new one. This capacitor is broken, this is what food does when it goes into our body. So because the mammal's body, mammals being the human being or the animal, because our bodies are coming from the ground, that is why it's very necessary that we eat food that is also coming from the ground, because they know each other, they speak the same language, they have the same genetic coding. The minute you go off that which the Mother Earth is giving, and you go and take what is scooped or what is manufactured in the library or in the laboratory, what is happening there does not know the genetic makeup of this body. So you are bringing a synthetic product to fix a biological system. It doesn't work. It would fail and you would get sick. So it's very necessary for you to rely on the information that the Mother Earth is giving to the plants that are coming back into you. That is why it's very necessary to only eat the food that Mother Earth is giving you. Don't ever allow anything that Mother Earth is not giving you into your body. Don't allow it. If you want to live long and grow far in life, then you got to make sure and always remember, I am only allowing into my temple, into my vessel, what the mother is giving me. When you understand that principle, it would help you stay off animals. Because the Mother Earth is not only feeding you, the Mother Earth is feeding the animals as well. The Mother Earth is sending certain signals and information and components to the animals, just as it is feeding you. So you always have to depend on what Mother Earth is giving you and nothing else. And you will live long and live well. And even in your 90s, you will still be firing. You're all mature people, I believe you know what I'm talking about. Listen, it's true. You'll still be firing in your 90s and in your 100s because the body is going according to the information the mother is giving it. The geographical location of your ancestor determines the kind of food you should allow into your body. There is a reason why the Creator decided to allow you grow in a specific place on the face of this earth. Yes, we have been uprooted. Majority of us have been uprooted from our natural grounds, our natural soils. You see, when you are made out of a clay soil, you do not expect the loamy soil to understand your language. So if you were raised out of the soil in that manner, don't expect for you to go and eat another geographical location's food. What am I saying? If you are black, eat the food from the black tradition, from the black ancestry. If you are white, you eat the European food. If you are Chinese, you eat the Chinese food. Don't try to interracial food. Don't try to do that. You've done interracial marriages, you are not satisfied, you want to take it to food. You would die if you begin to eat the foods that are not genetically from the Mother Earth provided to you. Those in the Asian community, have you ever studied the Asians? Wherever they go, they plant their own food. They grow their own food. Italians, wherever they go, they grow their own food because they understand that principle that their genetic makeup is not the same as our genetic makeup. We are not the same people. We are not the same people. So if your ancestor is African, you have no business drinking milk. Ask any doctor. Ask any dietitian. They will tell you, you are not supposed to drink milk. Especially milk from the mammals. I mean, we get milk from plants and all of that, but your genetic makeup is not allowed to take in milk. That is why we are dying, brothers and sisters. And they need you to be like that so that you don't come and possess the land of your ancestors. There are certain foods we eat in Ghana. And when you see a Ghanaian, you will feel the vibration that is coming out of the body. You do not give the food of the dog to the food of the goat. You don't do that. And the goat is not supposed to eat the food of the dog. Black man, you are not supposed to eat any food from any other race. White man, you are not supposed to eat the food from us. Because your genetic makeup is not made for that kind of food. You would die before your time. We are not the same people. We will never be the same people. We are not wired the same way. Our wiring is different. The food you eat determines how spiritual you become in life. The kind of food they eat would kill their spirituality. That is why you have no business eating their kinds of food. Because you need your spirituality at a certain frequency. That is how the Creator and the Mother made you. You have no business eating. We are not the same people. Not in this life, not in the afterlife, not in the beyond life. When we die, we don't go to the same place. We don't go to the same ancestors. Even the scriptures tell you, and Abraham rested with his ancestors. He didn't just go all over the place. No. So the food that we eat gotta come from our ancestors. That is why it's very necessary that you know who you are and who your people were, so that you can understand the kind of food that your people were eating, so that you can move into the spirituality of your people. Food and spirituality goes hand in hand. When you eat the wrong kind of food into your system, you develop the wrong kind of spirituality. Even science tells you that what our skull is not the same, right? Meaning our brain capacity is not the same. How should we eat the same food? Why do you eat the same food as they are? You're not supposed to do that. You see, no matter what they will do, we cannot be the same people. We are not the same people. The genetic makeup of our ancestors are different. They are different. We eat the wild stuff because the wild stuff are coming from Mother Nature, and Mother Nature is always giving us the food that she gave to our ancestors. The Mother Earth is always supplying us with the food that she gave to our ancestors, because the Mother Earth needs us to flow in the same frequency. That is why naturally we are more spiritual people, but we are losing our spirituality by abandoning our food and going after their food. You have no business eating their food, black man. There's a reason why you are black. There's a reason. People don't even know. Listen, let me tell you something. The food you eat would even change the way you think. The food you allow into you will change the way you think. When you eat dead stuff, your spirituality dies and you begin to think of carnal stuff. You begin to go after carnality. You begin to lust after things. You begin to become very lustful in life. You begin to chase after the things that has no business developing your spirituality. When you eat food that are alive, that is coming from Mother Earth, all of a sudden, dead things fall off. Lower vibrations fall off. All of a sudden, you come alive and you begin to operate in this dimension where everything becomes anew for you. People ask the question, so what is the food that the Creator gave us? Okay, I know this question raises a lot of eyebrows, because then it will go back to when Noah came out of the ship, and then Noah was allowed to eat meat. The Most High never gave meat for anybody to eat. When you study Genesis 1, chapter 1, it tells you clearly the herbs and the fruit will be meat for you and I to eat. There was no inclusiveness of meat. Meat does not do anything for your body that the plants will not do for you. So, why the introduction of meat and all of that, what have you? As men evolved, men started eating certain things that was sweet in their tongue, but not necessarily doing anything for them. That is why even the prophet Ezekiel, when he was seeing into the final restoration of everything, said this. Pay attention. Ezekiel 47:12. On the banks of the river, on the side and on that side, would grow all kinds of trees for food. What will be for your food? All kinds of trees, herbs, trees, leaves. These are the things that were created for us to eat. These were the food. That is what Mother Earth is giving us all the time. We are not supposed to eat another mammal. We are not supposed to eat. I continue, it says what? Their leaves will not wither and their fruit will not be consumed. They will bear new fruit according to its moon, because their water flows out of the sanctuary, and their fruit will be for food, and their leaves for medicine. Their fruit will be for food, and their leaves will be for medicine. So every day we are eating, we are healing ourselves, because we are eating what the Creator gave us as food. My time is up. I want to leave you, but before I go, I want to read out 20 important. I can go to 120, 130, but I want to give you the first 20 important herbs every single person should have in their home. Or should I just do 20? Is a lot. I don't know. A lot of. Let me just give you the list. From next week, every week, I will pick one herb and I will tell you what it does. Okay. I have an encyclopedia on health, on herbs and eating healthy. So I want to read from it. The first 5 valuable herbs are cayenne, charcoal. I bet a lot of people didn't think charcoal is a herb. Charcoal. You must always have cayenne in your house. You must always have charcoal in your house. You must always have garlic in your house. Always. Garlic is not for food, it's a herb. You don't have to eat garlic every day. When you eat garlic every day, you would lose your spirituality. It's a herb. Golden seal, peppermint. These are the top 5 most herbs you should have in your house. The next 5 valuable herbs are what? Echinacea, cascara, sagrada, catnip, corn silk. You see the silk that grows out of corn. Hops. The next 5 important or valuable herbs: comfrey, flaxseed, ginger, slippery elm, witch hazel. The next 5: lobelia, myrrh, skull cap, vervain, red clover. These are the 20 most. It's 20, right? Yes. These are the 20 most important herbs you should always have in your home: cayenne, charcoal, garlic, golden seal, peppermint, echinacea. Forgive me with the words. Echinacea, cascara, sagrada, catnip, corn silk, hops, comfrey, flaxseed, ginger, slippery elm, witch hazel. These are the first 20 significant, very necessary herbs you should always have in your home. The last 5 is what? Lobelia, myrrh, skull cap, vervain, red clover. These 20 you should always have in your home, because these are the emergencies, the go-to ones when it comes to herbs. Stay blessed. I love you. Have a great evening. I hope today's session has been a blessing to you. Don't forget, tomorrow I will continue with Amen-Ra, the King of Gods. I love you guys. Welcome once again to everybody that has joined this amazing family. We are building something beautiful. We're going to build our community, which is going to be amazing. Awesome community. You would want to be a part of it. If you want details of the community, please, I have my WhatsApp details in the description. I have my emails. Contact me and I'll give you all the information you need to know about the community. If you want to help us grow the community and build the community. No, I'm not talking about a virtual community. I'm talking about physical community on the land. We have our own place. So if you want to know more details about it, please contact. The information is in the details. Contact it and I'll tell you how you can play a role or be part. Or if you have any skills or specialty that you want to bring on board, please, you're welcome. Stay blessed. Have a great evening. I love you. Mwah. See you next time. Tomorrow. The next time is tomorrow. I'll see you.